Have you ever looked at a big new challenge, maybe a new career path, and felt that mix of real excitement, but also that little voice asking, okay, how do I learn everything I need, like, right now? We all want to succeed quickly, right? To grasp the essentials from the get-go. Well, today on The Deep Dive, we're tackling exactly that. We're doing a deep dive into mastering your first 90 days in real estate.
It's such a critical window, wouldn't you say? What you do, or maybe what you don't do, can really set the tone for everything that follows.
Oh, absolutely. And our goal today is to pull out the really potent, actionable stuff for you from the first 90 days in real estate, specifically looking at episode 17. Think of this as, a way to get you well-informed fast, giving you a bit of a strategic edge during that super important initial phase. We're digging into the lessons, the insights, the advice that actually works.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because anyone looking to really make a mark in real estate, these first 3 months, they're foundational, aren't they? It's not just starting, it's like setting your trajectory. Exactly. And the source material makes it really clear these first weeks aren't just like a test run. They're more like an intensive boot camp, if you approach it right. It's about consciously building the core pieces for a business that lasts. Establishing the right habits, client connections, market knowledge, things that pay off down the line.
Right. And this roadmap, as the source puts it, starts by focusing on some really fundamental things. Talks about key strategies, pitfalls to avoid, and practical guidance. Just knowing those 3 areas seems like you can make a huge difference, helping you sidestep common errors and, get productive faster.
It's definitely about having some foresight. For example, under key strategies, it doesn't just say, get leads, it gets specific. One really strong strategy it highlights is prospecting your sphere of influence, but doing it through personalized, value-driven outreach.
Okay, so not just generic blasts.
Right. It suggests tailoring your approach, offering genuine help or resources to people you already have a connection with. Think about the difference in response when you're seen as helpful, not just selling something.
Yeah, that makes total sense. It feels more authentic. Okay, so on the flip side, what about those pitfalls to avoid? That sounds crucial. What's a big trap new agents fall into, according to this?
A huge one flagged is spending big money on flashy marketing before you've built those fundamental client relationships and mastered the basics of lead generation. You see new agents dropping cash on fancy websites, photo shoots, maybe expensive ads.
Before they've even talked to enough people.
Exactly. Before they've made those first dozen real connections or learned how to actually follow up effectively. It's like buying a race car before you even have your driver's license. It raises that question, doesn't it? How do you know which strategies are most impactful or which pitfalls are most dangerous when you're brand new? This source really tries to provide that clarity.
That's such a common struggle, the pressure to look the part immediately. Okay, so what about the practical guidance where the theory meets the day-to-day? Got an example of that kind of wisdom?
Yeah, definitely. One piece of guidance that really stands out is implementing a strict daily schedule and focusing that schedule on what they call money-making activities.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
Well, it's not just blocking time. It's about really prioritizing things like follow-up calls, client meetings, checking the market, active outreach. It advises against getting sort of bogged down in admin tasks for too long, especially early in the day. Maybe aim for at least 3 hours purely on client-facing or lead-generating stuff each morning.
Ah, okay. That kind of discipline creates momentum, I imagine.
Precisely.
So this whole first segment, it's really about arming you with that essential mental toolkit, isn't it? Giving you a head start, helping you focus energy effectively in those critical first 90 days. It's about smart work, not just hard work.
Exactly. Being proactive, not reactive. If you understand these strategies, like the Sphere of Influence 1, recognize those pitfalls, like the early overspending, and adopt that practical guidance, like the daily schedule, you're building a much stronger foundation right from the start.
Okay, so once you have that groundwork, how do you make it really sink in? Our source material points towards learning through real-world examples. It talks about diving deeper, expanding on examples, case studies, and tips to help listeners apply what they've learned. So what kind of examples does it use? Why are they so useful?
Well, this gets to that core question for any learner. How do you actually turn information into insight you can use? The guide uses examples quite effectively. For instance, it might introduce, let's say, Agent Mark, a hypothetical new agent who spent his first month just building this amazing social media presence, running online ads. Looked great, but
Zero leads.
And then, in contrast, maybe there's Agent Sarah. She spent 2 hours every morning calling her existing network, going to local events, and by week 2, she maybe had 3 potential client meetings lined up.
Wow, that's a really clear comparison. Seeing it play out like that, Agent Mark's story probably feels familiar to a lot of people who get caught up in just the appearance side.
Exactly. These kinds of case studies let you sort of vicariously live through successes and failures. You internalize the ideas better than just reading theory. You see not just what happened, but maybe why it worked or didn't. And crucially, what you could do differently. The stories of Mark and Sarah aren't just anecdotes. They're like practical blueprints.
And then there are the tips. How do those fit in? Especially after hearing an example like that, how do they bridge knowing and actually doing?
So the tips in this context are designed to be immediately actionable. Following on from Agent Sarah's success, a tip might be something like script and practice your initial client conversations daily for at least 15 minutes.
Okay, actually rehearsing it.
Right. Not just memorizing, but internalizing how to ask good questions, listen well, articulate your value without sounding, overly salesy. Or learning from Agent Mark's struggle. Another tip could be prioritize face-to-face or voice-to-voice contact for your first 50 leads before you invest heavily in passive marketing.
Direct connection first.
Exactly. They're bite-sized actions you could literally start doing today.
I like that. It provides those aha moments, doesn't it? You hear the case study, see the outcome, get a specific tip, and suddenly it clicks. You can picture yourself doing it. It makes the learning feel much more solid, more memorable, helps you move from just understanding to actually applying it pretty quickly.
Precisely. It makes abstract ideas tangible by showing their real impact. That whole approach really helps speed up your learning curve and build confidence. You feel more prepared for real situations.
And speaking of applying things quickly, our source material also includes a short, powerful, actionable quick tip, specifically for these first 90 days. For those times you just need one sharp takeaway. What's the powerful quick tip it offers?
Yeah, this really highlights how effective, concise advice can be. The quick tip is basically this. Consistency in fundamental activities beats intensity in sporadic efforts every single time.
Ooh, that's good. Simple, but powerful.
It sounds simple, right? But it's actually quite profound. It means consistently making those, say, 5 calls a day, or consistently following up, consistently engaging your sphere, rather than having one huge burst of activity and then like nothing for days.
That's such a great reminder, especially when you're starting out. It's easy to feel you need these massive heroic efforts, but that often just leads to burnout, doesn't it?
It really does.
This tip reinforces that small, steady actions guided by the right insights add up to real progress.
Exactly. And what's interesting is the recognition that sometimes the best insights are the most condensed. In that intense first 90 days, you're bombarded with information. A quick tip like this acts almost like a mental anchor, or a quick trigger for action. It's designed to be easy to remember and use right away, instant value.
Yeah, like a core principle you can just keep coming back to throughout the day. It's like that little secret weapon you can pull out immediately. Perfectly fits that need for quick, solid knowledge you can integrate right now. Reminds you that steady, smart actions build momentum. Okay, so let's recap. We did a deep dive into your first 90 days in real estate, drawing from episode 17 of the source material. We've looked at key strategies like value-driven prospecting in your sphere, pinpointed pitfalls like spending too much on marketing too early, and seen practical guidance like having that disciplined daily schedule. We saw how examples in case studies like our Agent Mark and Agent Sarah make the learning stick, and we got that really potent quick tip. Consistency beats intensity.
Right. And just understanding these foundational pieces is a huge step forward. The source material doesn't just leave you there, though. It encourages you to keep going, mentioning thriveinrealestate.org as your guide. It's positioned as a resource to help you build on this knowledge and, support your ongoing journey.
So what does all this really mean for you, the listener, as you move forward, maybe starting out or refining your approach in real estate?
Well, here's a thought to leave you with. You've just spent time thinking about the critical first 90 days for you as the agent. Your strategies, your habits, your growth. Now, how might truly understanding the home buying process from your client's point of view, really getting into their shoes, empathetically, how might that fundamentally reshape your own strategies and success, especially during those crucial first months? Because ultimately, isn't truly serving the client the absolute bedrock of building a successful career in this field?